Can you hear us okay?
I do hear you well. That is fantastic. And how's the little less sun right now?
Yeah.
Although the sun will be coming up in your part of the country in a few hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's quite early in the morning, 1 a.m. your time.
Yes.
Yep.
Yay! You guys, you big kids now. You get to stay up late.
Oh yeah.
I've been staying up late for a while, Lou.
I can only imagine. What an episode! Wasn't that amazing?
That was
Oh, yeah.
intense.
So
I
glad
think-
they finally went back and talked about Morgan.
We finally got Morgan back into our system, right?
Right.
Yes.
And something tells me we can keep him in our system for a little bit and
Yeah.
ponder where he's going, where he can turn up next, and where he can be serviceable.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Or maybe he was serviceable enough right there, which I happen to think, nothing like getting out of your crazy streak, like meeting someone crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
crazy
I'm not
is
so-
as crazy does, right?
Right.
I'm not so messed up after all. Look at this guy.
Yeah, I think it's a good cup of wake the crazy up.
Yeah.
When you meet somebody that's serving the same recipe, so I'm jazzed to talk about that. That's
Me
exciting. That was a great episode because of all the things that we know and all the things that we don't know that left go unsaid.
And
Yeah.
things we're starting to learn.
So much.
We're
We learned a
learning.
lot.
Michonne's starting to open up a little bit.
I think so much more than we would have ever even imagined. I think some of us aren't ready for it. A little bit of that. I would question her taste in interior design.
Yeah. That rainbow cap, man, I'm telling you.
It might have been the thing that I would have not thought twice about taking. So,
Yeah.
but she's got a colorful personality.
Of course.
Yes, she does, and it's coming out.
Decorate her cell block.
Yeah.
Bring a little color into the darkness.
I'm all for it. It was great. I was curious about how she quickly went in, recovered the photo, and quickly returned back.
I
Yeah.
think that's what everybody was saying is how she got on the roof so fast and how she got out of there so fast. It makes you want to know.
Yeah,
She's a ninja.
she has skills.
Yeah, she does.
She has magic skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, show will go into wizardry.
Yeah.
We're just this side of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
That's not true. She is. She's very capable, obviously.
Yeah. Moves fast and quiet.
Do you feel like you're ready to know more about her, or are you all? Were you satisfied with the mystery of her? That sometimes we take a great deal of comfort in the mystery and the stoicism of a character,
Right.
Mhm.
and when we see we see the humanity of the character, we recognize that as a weakness.
Right.
And I'm curious if you felt a little cheated there.
You go
I'm
first.
cool with it. I'm a big fan of Michonne.
Okay.
She's like my Daryl, and because
Alright.
I think she's just awesome. She has that katana.
Well, there's no thinking about it. She is.
Right.
But, yeah. So I'm mowing what you're growing.
Yeah. So I'm very excited to see where her character goes because I want her to stay with the group. I don't want her to get kicked out or anything. And, I want her to be like, hey, I'm really important to this group. You cannot kick me out.
I think that was a big turning point, obviously, tonight.
Yeah,
Because,
definitely.
for a lot of reasons, because there's this global warming that's happening, and it's Rick and his son Carl.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Somewhere there'll be a transition. It may be 20 years from now, but somewhere, and as much as anything, she didn't have to earn anybody's respect. She
Right.
commands it, but she connected with Carl, which is important,
Right.
because I think Carl is the last person that's capable now of connecting with Rick in that way.
Yeah.
And so if Carl offers it, she's one of us, I think Rick, he has to clock that and connect with it. So I think based on what happened tonight, Rick's got to reconsider.
Yeah,
Definitely.
We'll patch you up and then you are out of here. I think obviously it was a test all the way around, which she passed with flying colors.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
with that rainbow cat is why she passed so well.
Yeah, because that's right in Rick's crazy eye exam. That's just perfect for him.
Right.
But, also in their last exchange, can you drive? I see things. I think there's a real admittance. I used to talk to my dead, my dead boyfriend. These are things that we're really getting to know, getting to know Michonne, and which is great. And then there's part of me that doesn't want to know because I like being afraid of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that she had a boyfriend gives her a certain vulnerability, but it also gives her a certain humanity, which I think we need. At this juncture, we sort of need that from her, and I don't think it will impede her wielding of her death sword.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is what she did.
I liked the conversation that they actually had when they went to the police station, when they were in there, and he was telling the plan of where he could find more guns, and he kind of looked at her expecting her to say something sassy back and was like, do you have a problem with that? And she's like, looked straight at him in the tone of voice. She was like, I have no problem. And he just kind of looked back like, maybe she isn't so bad. And she hands him the bullet. Like, I thought that was where the exchange of him thinking started, and then we see it progress more and more in the episode.
Was there any reason that do you think that he really did bring her to test her, or did he just want her out of the prison?
I almost feel like he
both.
brought her because she was the best that he had compared to Daryl, and he wanted Daryl to stay with everybody else because he knew that they would be good with him and would feel safer if it was Daryl. So maybe it was him taking her with him to make him feel more secure and to make sure that nobody was in danger if she got left at the prison.
I think a little bit of both.
And then, so does that mean the next trip that he takes Merle for the same time?
This is true, but I feel like he doesn't trust Merle at all just because of what happened in the first season. So it'll be interesting to see what actually does happen to Merle. Like, I'm really excited.
He needs to be able to kind of, by process of elimination, I can eliminate now my doubt on Michonne.
Right.
I've got that taken care of. This was kind of what we needed to do. Plus, we needed to go get weaponry and supplies and whatnot. And he needed to sort of go and take his son out on a camping trip, father and son bonding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they got a lot of all this done, and they went back home.
Yeah.
I mean, does it go under the radar that Rick went home?
Yeah. Like, I was trying to figure out that same thing too. And what's amazing me is, like, it seems like they were so close to that home.
They didn't take very long for them to drive there.
And so, like, how long have they known?
It didn't take 10 months for them to get there, did it?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, because, like, from Season 2 to Season 3, there's, like, a 10-month gap.
Yeah.
And so, was that 10-month gap them trying to head back to that town? Like, I don't understand. It's just amazing to me that he knew where the town was. Like, he was that close.
And the other thing is... And clearly he is out of sorts, but he didn't make a lot of the connection that the house had been burnt down.
Right.
Yeah.
And maybe it was Morgan diluting whatever feelings he had harboring for nostalgic feelings, but also clearly Carl was able to connect with that and act on that. So because we did need a little something, we needed to know that this is home. This is where they came from.
Right.
And I suppose Carl offered us that, and then ultimately we got it with the picture. And maybe that's enough. Maybe we feel like I want to sense that the show is always moving forward, and this was a very insular type of an episode that we wanted to hold and accomplish what we needed to, but not hearken to the backstory too much and get back into Kumbaya a little bit too much and keep moving forward. A question I had about the hitchhiker.
Yes.
Is anybody picking the hitchhiker up?
I said this to him. It was very apparent. I think Michonne and Rick knew that they were on the same page. That we're not picking him up. But I felt like Carl was almost like, man, I really want to pick that guy up. The look on his face almost looked like kind of sad that he knew what his dad was going to do. He knew that there was no chance of picking him up.
This is the education. This is the world that we live in, and this is the unfortunate behavior that we have to take on, survival instinct. And it's there were ideas that I had, like, well, this might be an able-bodied male that we could take back and put him into service in this fight. Alternatively, maybe we wouldn't want to do that to anybody. Maybe we don't want to bring somebody back into this bad situation that's about to occur. But what could be worse than being stranded? And then we find the guy,
just completely disembodied.
But let's take his backpack because we need that stuff.
We were gonna get, and that's a zombie survival kit in there, and so he's become very serviceable for
for the zombies and for them.
Because we see now that humanity has definitely changed, and they didn't think twice. Whereas we really get back to the Morgan situation. I mean, this whole episode is about Morgan helping Rick way back, right?
Yes,
that's not the same behavioral pattern that has been bestowed upon Rick Grimes.
Yeah,
right.
And so, will that bite him in the ass somewhere, or has it already?
I feel like it kind of already has.
And it made Michonne question. She's like, "Why are we staying here?" She was kind of curious as to why he cared so much.
Yeah.
But I'm glad he did stay and stuff, because I felt like he needed it.
Stay to try to help Morgan and get through this.
Right.
Yeah, and of course then what we have is Rick, who's really been struggling with lucid thoughts, running into someone who has very few, and he can't get through to him, and does that sober him up a bit?
I think it looked like he was like scared, like, you know me, like, what is wrong with you? Why don't you recognize me? And I think he realized, well, Rick's reaction to Morgan could potentially be the reaction that the group is having towards Rick. He's probably thinking, wow, this is what people are thinking of me when I do these crazy things.
Right. And wasn't it a great moment with the walkie-talkie?
Oh, man. What a great moment. It gave me goosebumps. I was like, man, this is so awesome. And, like, I was like, man, Rick totally failed this guy. Like, why did you do this? You know?
Yeah. And so, all these things, and we got to sort of see, I feel like what it was almost that was almost the script, because I've read that script, and all of those words on that blackboard all show up in that script.
Really?
Wow.
Words like clear, and guilt, and guilt, and guilt. And so I feel like it was a real foundation of season 3 for Rick Grimes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And so I feel like we can just take that word, GUILT, and tattoo it on his forehead, and we may get tired of it, but we should understand it because guilt is a very motivating emotion, and I sense that that's what he sees in Lori, and that's what he sees in Shane.
I was about to say Shane.
And whomever else. And Morgan, clearly.
Yeah.
And so this was a place that we could bury it in there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's gone, but I think it gave him a place to reason with it at the very least.
What were your thoughts on, because we were watching The Talking Dead afterward, what were your thoughts on his meaning of clear? Because there were a couple different things that other people thought clear meant. What did clear mean to you?
For Morgan's?
Yes.
From Morgan's standpoint, I felt clear meant that he was free and clear of his burden.
Yeah.
And the burden was to continue to hold on to survival and to help humanity.
Mm-hmm.
And to keep this place and him clean until his Savior came, which I think he saw as Rick. So in other words, he's John the Baptist until Jesus comes.
Right.
And,
got it.
And so I think that he recognized that he didn't win and he didn't lose, that he isn't done yet.
Right.
And that's his task. And it's a madman. It's the behavior of a madman, but it's brilliant. So that was my take on Clear. What were some other thoughts?
Go ahead.
No, you're good.
Well, I was going to just expand on your idea. Like, I feel like he didn't believe that Rick actually came back. I feel like he's lost his mind, so it's so far gone. Like, Rick was starting to have his mind go in the beginning of season 3. So I feel like when he saw Rick, he didn't believe that it was Rick. He thought maybe that Rick was a figment of his imagination.
He said, "You're wearing a dead man's face."
Right.
Yeah.
And then, like, at the end of the episode, you see them drive away, and he's just continuing on what he's been doing every day since he's lost his kid.
Yeah, it was a place where he didn't connect with them, and even when he tells Carl, "Don't ever be sorry," I don't think he knew he was talking to Carl.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not sure, but I felt like he kind of slipped back to justify the fact that he can't go.
Yeah.
He cannot go with them because he's got a job. He's got that 1,000-mile march of the unknown soldier that he's got to take on. And I would guess I was kind of hoping that Rick could help him out of that. Yeah. I was hoping that the two of them could find some salvation.
Yeah.
And that's not the direction that it went.
Yeah.
Right.
Tonight.
Yeah.
I'm hoping more.
I told him, I was thinking, that was a good episode. Well, it was a fantastic episode.
Yeah.
But to me, I almost feel like to wait this whole time to finally bring Morgan back, just have one episode and have it all cleared up, and then we're done with Morgan. I hope that's not the end, because we had waited so long, and just to clear it all up with one episode.
Was this the Morgan that you had expected to come back? Did we see that anybody feel like he would? I
was wondering if something would have happened to the son. I was wondering if he was going to be changed. It had been so long, and he hadn't heard anything from Rick. I had a feeling there was going to be some anger, and something was going to happen.
I always felt like he was going to eventually find both of them in a zombie horde. So, like, he would just see him as a zombie and be like, oh, man. And then, like, I felt like he would just freeze up and be like, oh, my God, that's Morgan. What happened to him? And, like, I feel like he would have saw his son and Morgan together as zombies. Mm-hmm. So I was always expecting that, because I watched the entire season 2 and I'm like, what? You didn't explain anything with Morgan? And then you start watching season 3 and you're still like, where's Morgan at?
Yeah.
And then so you finally get it. But I love the direction that it went into. I love that Morgan has completely lost his mind, just like Rick is.
Very open-ended, and he's the wild man out in the woods. Right. And it's so great because somewhere he'll have a very lucid thought, and it will save somebody's life.
Right.
I think, and in a brilliant place, and it can be almost, we can just dream up things that he can do, you know, and places he can be because he's so powerful now.
Oh yeah.
Not just as a character, but as a benchmark for Rick Grimes.
Right.
You know, he's the last vestige of someone that's helped Rick.
Yeah.
You know, I mean that was very, very, very primal to Rick, and that this man saved his life. He'll always think, you know. Several people have saved Rick's life.
Yeah. Several.
This one is really important. So I feel like it's got some life.
He owes him a lot. He owes Morgan a lot. Even though Lori is passed now, he wouldn't have gotten to spend that time with her, and had the baby if Morgan hadn't helped him. And he probably cherishes those moments with Lori that he had. You know, whether having no more moments with her. So
yeah, and particularly a lot now. Getting back to the humanity thing, does anyone pick up a hitchhiker?
Well,
that's the thing.
I think if it was season 1 or 2 with the RV, they might have considered it when there was more people and there were more opinions to listen to. Or, I feel like if we were watching it on The Talking Dead, if it was a child on the side of the road screaming for help, they probably would have picked the child up. But they could have possibly picked the hitchhiker up if it was still season 1 when there were more people, more population.
But right now, as it goes, every man for himself. And that includes Tyrese and whoever you got going, you're out. Michonne seems to have proven herself. We've talked about that, but on the early onset, she was going to be dismissed, and clearly we got pushed out, or at least in a different cell. So I mean, they've come to figure out that this serves them best, not to be open arms, and yet people like Herschel, the farm, you know, there's been a lot of gratitude or a lot of service to the survival group. And I suppose that the governor takes a different stance. Come on in.
Yeah.
We'll see how we can utilize you,
manipulate you.
Into the service. So they're different tasks. Would the governor have picked that guy up?
I feel like he might have.
Yeah.
But I wonder, like, when they saw that hitchhiker, Michonne or Rick, I wonder if their character's idea was like, what if this is a setup from the governor? Because, you know, that's their main reason was going back there and getting guns. So they might have thought that maybe this was a setup and a trap. If they would have picked him up, he would have, you know, like, made him hostages and then drove him straight to Woodbury.
Yeah.
So
they could have been shanghaied. About the time they pull over, all of a sudden it's an ambush.
Right.
That old chestnut. Yes.
Or even not even having to do with the governor. He could have just been a person that maybe wanted to take their car, wanted to take their guns, you know. Or he could have been bitten, or he could have been crazy. He could have been anything.
We've seen this go bad any number of times. Will we head back to King County, do you imagine, ever?
What do you think?
I don't know. It's possible.
I say yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we certainly know the layout of the land,
right?
Though it's not protected. It's some place that has some form of shelter. Although it seemed there was as many walkers there as there were any for only having ostensibly one human. How good can those rats taste? I mean, you can't be chasing rodent for forever, but. It just feels like it can't be the last, and I suppose that relates to Morgan as well. So I would assume, or I would lay a bet that we'll go back.
Right. That's what I'm hoping for.
I feel like it would, at least in season 4. Maybe, who knows how this war is going to happen in the next few episodes, and see what the governor's going to do. And you see that sneak peek where Rick and the governor are face to face
talking.
So I'm really excited and interested to see what's going to happen with that.
It's gonna be great. I mean, it can't even be what we can imagine. So it's gonna be so exciting.
I'm ready to see how he gets to that point. Like, how did this meeting get set up?
And then in the preview, he's yelling at Andrea and said, "You said all he wanted to do was talk." So Andrea comes back in this and has a part in it. And that'll be interesting to see how they meet. It's
been such an interesting ride for Andrea.
Oh yeah, she is confused.
and it's a really great character ride arc with her, because she's torn between two men, essentially, and even something more seductive than that, power.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she's Cleopatra, is she not?
Yeah.
And so I think it's just really interesting as far as what her choices can and/or will be, and how it'll play out for her. Because I think that she will have to, right or wrong, make some decisions that she probably isn't wanting to make or can't make.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We kind of saw that at the end of last week's episode.
Right.
She knows something's wrong with the governor. She knows she's being fooled somehow, but at the same time, she doesn't want to believe it, and she backed away from it. She doesn't know which way she wants to go.
Well, and I feel like they've made that connection so much, too, through intercourse and stuff of that nature. So she's just like, I can't kill this. This guy could be the love of my life. We don't have everybody that we need. This is the closest I have to affection.
Yeah, and I could be wrong, but has she ever killed anybody besides a walker?
She almost shot Daryl's head off.
Yeah.
I know. So I'm not sure she has that.
Yeah.
She kills walkers very good.
Oh, very easily.
But didn't she put Amy up?
Amy was still a zombie.
Right,
Amy had turned.
Okay.
Her sister.
Yeah, with the bullet to the head. Yeah.
Right.
And could Carol do this?
This is. Okay, we have differences about Carol because he still thinks. Can I say your opinion?
Go for it.
He still thinks Carol is weak and mousy, and he doesn't like her. I think Carol is turning into a strong character, and when she suggested last week to Andrea to give him the best night of his life and to take him out, she had that idea because she probably thought that for years about her abusive husband. And she probably thought, I can do it, but she didn't. But I think if she had gotten back, if her husband was still alive, I think if she had the chance now, I think she could potentially take him out. I don't know about the governor, but I could see Carol doing it. I think Carol's a stronger person, and I think she had the most amazing idea, because that is a brilliant idea. That sex is one thing that women can hold over men. That's a power that women have, and I think it was a great idea.
Yeah, and it's the one thing that is hasn't changed, probably.
Yeah, in the apocalypse.
That line probably hasn't been erased too much.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, which gets back to the whole thing. I think at the end of the day, human touch will solve all problems or create all problems, as is the case right now in our societies. But that is the most important thing. So I also think Carol has become, as you say, very stronger for the same reasons that all of them are. But also because I find her very maternal right now, as for the baby, for Judith. So she might you don't want to cross a she-bear.
Yeah.
So you have a little of that going on as well. I'm not sure Beth is the same, but possibly.
I think she wants to be. She's trying to be.
Yeah, I think those are tough roads. That we spend a lot of time watching Carl cross, and forget that the others are probably crossing it too, in the form of Maggie and Beth. You know, all of a sudden you see a gun in her hand, and you know, this are tough. Those are tough things. I think Carol has a lot of resolve to stand up against the pain that she's experienced.
She has a lot of built up anger, just ready to get it out. I'm ready for her just to go Blasco on everything, you know.
I think she could, and it would and it would be worth it for all of us, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe she'll get a shot at Merle.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Maybe it'll get down to that.
I was proud of her because when we came back from the mid-season break, when she found out Daryl had left, she was upset. Yeah. And you could tell she was upset, but then later when Beth approached her and was like, I'm pissed at Daryl for leaving, she stood up for Daryl and was like, you know, I've been in his situation. I know what it's like to have a kind of man like that in my life. I was happy to see her later that she realized what Daryl was thinking and she didn't automatically write him off.
Yeah, she's been able to make some clear thoughts about how it works and what her emotions are and some other emotions and those types of trappings with relationships. And I think I think she's made a lot of adjustments, but they all have, you know, and they'll and about the time they do, I think someone will let you down.
Yeah.
You know. Did we see Andrea going this way?
I didn't. I'm really upset about
He's
Andrea.
a big Andrea fan.
Yeah, right. And all of a sudden, she's sleeping with the enemy?
Oh,
well,
makes me
here's the
mad.
thing, though. I have complete faith in Andrea. I am waiting for the episode where she kills the governor. It's going to happen.
Fingers crossed.
Like, if anybody kills the governor, it's going to have to be Andrea. I don't see anybody else doing it because she's so close to him.
Did she betray Michonne? Does Michonne have a place to have some hurt feelings?
I think she's hurt.
Yeah, she definitely has because, you know, she was there when Lori was sick and everything. Yeah. Yeah. And so, well, Andrea, I call her by her real name. I don't mean to. Okay. But she was, like, Michonne was with Andrea when she was sick and through the entire winter and kept her safe and stuff. And so I feel like Michonne is upset because Andrea just ended up and left her and stayed at Woodbury while Michonne went off by herself.
Absolutely. And even if Michonne had stayed and said, okay, if you think this is best for us, where would she fit in Woodbury? Would she just become a soldier and then Andrea ultimately would still be squired by the governor? And would it be worse? You know? Yeah, I think you got some splaining to do.
She chose the easy life over a friend, kind of like you said, like the affection between men and women hasn't changed in the apocalypse. Well, it doesn't look like, back again, she chose a man over her friend, and a lot of women kind of do that now. So I think her feelings are definitely hurt.
That started in high school, right?
Oh, yeah. I know all about this.
Yeah, best friends will dump each other for the high school quarterback, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And so, Michonne then, we see her getting over her hurt feelings a little bit, opening up, becoming an ally, definitely to the group. She'll be brought back. I don't think anybody would have qualms about her returning. I think everybody's concerned about the redneck, cell block C, and yet he's good at surviving, so he'll look out for his own interests. And I think I wouldn't say he's necessarily proven his allegiance to anybody except to himself, you know. And I think Daryl is. I think Rick sort of actually had a good moment when he said, "You're responsible for that, however it goes." it goes bad, then you're held accountable. And this is probably a new situation for Daryl, being accountable for his brother, which he's never really had to before. But we've seen it now out in the incident with the family on the bridge, where Daryl's compassion continues to play. And then we also get to see some more of Merle. I think his quotation in the Bible and the conversation with Herschel sells us some of ideas about that he has some moral code, or a little bit. At least he knows how to read.
Yeah.
Say that.
Right.
And retain and quote.
That threw Herschel for a loop. You could see that.
It did. And I think we should hold on to a kernel of that as we're preparing for whatever the Merle coming to light will be, coming to Jesus. I think we'll continue to uncover that, you know, and I think that will bear fruit. I actually do, and I feel like we'll all be fairly surprised.
Yeah,
I hope so.
And that will be somebody will say, "God, I wish that I hadn't been so hard on old Merle." But rightfully so. The guy's a racist redneck.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
How much feelings can he have for him?
I don't think you get to have any, but
because I mean, you could tell that he hasn't really changed even when he was in Woodbury. Look what he did to Glenn and Maggie. He was torturing them, basically. So, what's he really going to do with Rick and them? I'm excited to see where that goes.
He's got to make some changes, because obviously Woodbury's not going to take him back, and if he doesn't make some changes in the prison, he's got nowhere else to go. He has nobody else, because it's obvious that Daryl is fed up with him, and he's not going to leave with him again. Yeah,
he's got to make amends to Daryl, or at the end of the day, this gets back to that. It's the same old biblical story. That Daryl's got to put him down.
Right.
Oh, yep.
It gets to be that place, and that's very interesting. You know, and so we don't. We probably are heaping a lot on Daryl, but he's pushed us into doing that. So by having his familial allegiance and whatnot. Did you miss the governor at all tonight? Did you miss Woodbury at all?
No. I'm missing Andrea. That's my big thing.
Okay.
I'm ready to see where her character goes and what she ends up doing and her choices.
I think you couldn't be any more surprised or shocked about, or elated or excited, because I think she is pivotal for the rest of the season.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And so I think that's incredible. Would we have said that at the beginning of season 3?
Probably not, because she was just sick and weak.
As acting off Herschel's leg, would we have seen it said, this is all going to come down to Andrea?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Just Andrea is such a big character piece this season.
Yeah.
I feel like she's a huge character this season.
Well, she's come into that,
Right.
I mean, once we were in the prison, as we were starting the season, hadn't really... I think we went 2 episodes where we hadn't even discovered Woodbury until 3, right?
Episode 3.
And that's our rediscovery of Andrea.
Yeah.
Was it 3?
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, and so much had happened at the prison, and we had amped it up so much that when we took the episode, not unlike tonight, to introduce Woodbury, it was sort of like taking a breath and going, okay, let's listen to what they're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, they're really talking. Oh, cool. I get it. No, there's a walk. No, there's no walker.
But who does jump in the picture is Merle, also somebody that we haven't seen since really from season 1.
Not
besides
flashback.
A little bit now and again, some dreams, but and so the kind of the ebbs and flows, the pace, the tones, and the the dance of this season has been really great. This
Right.
Oh, yeah.
this probably couldn't have come at a better time. This trip back to back home,
Right.
Right.
and I feel like that's really cool
Yeah.
Definitely.
because we get to return now, and we got supplies, and we got weaponry, and
We've got
We're ready to get stuff done.
a connection with Rick and Michonne, and hopefully the rest of the group sees that.
is anybody in the world of audience, I call it the audience, rooting for Woodbury?
Not in this house.
Yeah.
And
I don't
but
see it at all.
Anyone that's going, man, the governor's, if
Here's
they just all fall in under the governor, they could have survival, and Woodbury would be okay, and it would be contained. And does anyone buy into the governor being a leader?
If
Matt?
he's more of like a Hitler-esque
Yeah.
type leader. So what I feel like would be nice, but then the entire show would end because everybody would be happy and joyful, is if they would take the governor down and either Rick or Herschel or Daryl
or even Andrea.
or Glenn or Andrea would be the new dictator of the city. So I feel like if they could do that, everybody would be happy and wouldn't have to worry about nothing. Because I feel like we don't hate the people of Woodbury. We just hate the governor.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just take him out and take out his little lappy, and we'll be good to go and make it nice and peaceful.
When you say that, do you mean Milton or
Yes.
do you mean
I mean Milton.
Milton?
Yes.
You don't think Milton would change? He kind of he did us a dirty, didn't he? We almost were buying into Milton until he kind of said she's going to the prison.
Oh, I yelled. I yelled at the TV.
Yeah, he told on her, didn't he?
Yeah.
And we didn't really want to believe that he was going to do that. I mean, we wanted him to be on her side and say, okay, I got your back.
Right.
And he doesn't.
Yeah.
The only thing we can say is he is loyal.
Yeah.
To the governor.
Yeah, to the
It's
governor.
his allegiance. I mean, we will say that. He has been there from day one. More than we can say for Merle.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's not enough. So, and Martinez is just a pit bull, right? Whoever. Would he follow Andrea?
I don't think so. At least not at the moment. He does
Well,
not.
He's got to go down too then.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he definitely does not seem to like her. When she was standing up to him in a recent episode, I think last week, he did not look like he wanted to listen to what she had to say.
Yeah, the whole man and woman thing. Yeah, I don't buy it either. But I am interested in Andrea's, how warm that glow of leadership light must feel. So and sometimes that can go to our
heads,
our ego.
Yeah.
Prison. We got sanctuary or no? Hang on or
Here's
go.
the thing. They need to go. Because you got Tyrese, you got Alan, and you got the other people, and they know where that hole is in that prison. So what I'm expecting is the government are going... the governor is going to find out where this hole is, and they're all just going to sneak attack. Either,
probably.
There's an image floating around that was photoshopped where the governor had the baby in his hand. So maybe...
No.
Yeah, so hopefully... somebody comes and takes the baby and everybody's freaking out trying to figure out what happened. But nobody's going to know because they don't know about that hole that's in the prison. So that could be something, or
I think they do because they were wondering how they got in the first place. I think they know about it.
Right.
Well, Carl knows about it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I still don't think they would go back and think of that somehow.
Yeah.
So I'm really kind of hoping either... I don't want a sneak attack, but maybe if they kind of took something from them, to make them wonder, like, whoa, what just happened? What's going on? And, like, they start turning on each other almost, but they start to realize.
It gets down to the conversation. We're with Glenn, we're going, and Michonne, and we're going to go get him. We'll take the fight to the war, and we'll go get the governor, or we'll stay and wait for him.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And fortify our fortress to attack.
Right.
I sense that Rick is going to want to stay put.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that causes dissension, and then the energy of that is counterproductive, right?
Right.
And then and so then when we leave the prison, if it's not the place we thought it was going to be, do we move? Do we take your advice and let's go take the town and run it, take it over through a coup, and overtake the town, or do we just move on and stay out of their way?
Right. I feel like they can't stay out of their way. They have to do something about it. You can't just keep running because eventually somebody's going to run into you, and it's going to cause a huge fiasco because you won't expect it.
Like the Merle and Maggie and Glenn fiasco.
Right, So who knows? I feel like they should try to go take the town. Because if you take down the dictator, the people aren't going to know what to do. And if somebody could arise to be a dictator, they'll listen and be grateful and thankful because they could go back to their everyday life.
And I think that the town, at least a few members, are wondering about the governor with that whole, let me not speak to any of you, walk out, shoot this guy in the head, walk back inside. I think they're starting to wonder what his thought process is, what he's doing.
Yeah. And we always get, is it from the production purpose or the show's purpose? Is Woodbury so fortified and heavily armed?
I would think so, just for the fact.
Is anyone afraid of Woodbury?
Not that we know of, except Rick and the gang, because they know what's going on. But how many people?
Is Michonne afraid of Woodbury? She walked in.
I don't think so.
That's true too.
I don't think Michonne is afraid of a lot, if anything. But we don't know too much about Michonne. But she does not seem to be afraid of the governor. She is somebody that can stand up to him, and I love it. So
I mean, all we've been through with survivors, all Rick, and Daryl, and Glenn, and, Maggie and Herschel, all they've been through, and that Andrea can volley back and forth with her feminine wiles. I mean, wouldn't you assume Rick to just say, "I got this,"
Yeah.
I'm gonna go take care of. I'm gonna show this little town how the cow ate the cabbage. I mean, I guess they did. They came in and they got Maggie and Glenn.
That's true too.
And so they should know. They got shot up. We lost Oscar. All right, that's a casualty. We lost Axel.
We lost you. That's a big one.
Yeah. We lost some casualties of war, but we can kick their ass.
Yeah.
We're stealthy. We're on the move. Oh, we got a baby and a one-legged guy.
Yeah.
You just stay at the prison. We'll be okay.
Yeah, let's put you in the short bus. So I feel like they give. There's a bit they give the governor a lot of thunder. Maybe more than he's earned, and has he earned it from what we've seen? Him taking out the military, National Guard, has he heads in the aquarium? Penny, I actually felt that was very sensitive. I felt that had a lot of humanity, not unlike anyone that we've seen. Is he crazy? Absolutely. But is he maniacal? Yes, absolutely. But is he strong? I don't know.
I think
he might.
I think he's kind of fallen a little bit with the loss of Penny
and the loss of his eye,
and
and the fact that they came in and shot the.
That's what I was about to say. That there's a weak spot in Woodbury, and when they came in, and it's showing, and I think it's bothering him. And that's when who was he talking to? I think he might have been talking to Milton when he said, "Did you see Rick?" Like he wanted to know who. He said he was talking to somebody. He said, "Did you see him? Did you see what he looked like? What was He obviously wants to meet Rick. He wants to see if he's stronger than him, if he can take him."
Yeah.
That conversation.
But he did. I will say this: when he came to attack the prison, he really did a great job. Obviously, he had him pinned down. He had a man in the guard tower. How'd that guy get up there?
Yeah.
He had the crazy ice cream truck. So they had high-powered weaponry and were basically had the upper hand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like that was as much a show of strength as anything. So,
right.
Yeah, they should. So, yeah, I guess I would have to concede to that. Yeah, the governor's got some pop.
Yeah.
And just, you know, and who knows? Maybe he's got a helicopter. You know,
yeah.
so.
I could see it.
He's got stuff hidden, man.
Yeah.
Now, the question is, does he have anybody that knows how to fly a helicopter? That's where it comes into play.
Or not alive.
He took that guy out.
Yeah, I think he. But there's no telling him. I never get a sense of a huge army in Woodbury. You know, I see 10 people here, 15 people over there, 6 girls there, 4 little boys here. You know, it kind of feels like Muncie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Muncie versus Indianapolis. It's completely different.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's happening, man.
That just made my night. Thank you.
Hey, Muncie. Yeah. And so we go to next week, and we've been tipped off that shit's going down.
They're meeting face to face.
I'm ready.
It's coming on. But guess what else? We're at tonight was
12.
12.
Yep.
So 13 next Sunday. I mean, we're
almost done with this season.
I mean, what? We got 4?
Yeah, that's it.
4 left. I mean, there's a lot to be done in 4 episodes.
I think by the time we meet you in Horror Hound, there'll only be 1 episode left.
Yeah.
So exciting.
Yeah.
What's really interesting is who will be the king, or will it be resolved?
Right.
I don't see them talking through it, though. I really don't.
Okay.
Because I feel like... Because Rick has gotten to the point where he doesn't care about what people think or what people are going to try to do to help him. He's like, I'm here for myself. This is it. I'm done trying to mess with other people because I've had too much betrayal and too many people's died on me. I can't handle more people. I just got to get this done and over with. I feel like he just does not care. And Carl's to the point where he doesn't care about nobody anymore.
So everyone's lost their sense of compassion or human compassion.
Or new compassion, because I wouldn't say they just don't care, because it's obvious Carl cares. He went and grabbed that picture of his family to give to Judith, but kind of newcomers. They're not about newcomers. So
yeah, Tyrese could have been so valuable.
Oh yeah. I think they're going to regret that, especially with Alan being like, you know, we'll do anything to help you against this guy, because Alan is not like Rick. You can just tell.
Yeah, Alan's a little bit, Alan's gonna be, but Alan's, you know, Alan will live by the sword, die by the sword.
Yeah.
Watch out for Michonne.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that is not a spoiler, I promise you.
Okay.
Then my thing on the show was, particularly when we were at, I guess it would be, it was 2. We were at 2, where Pleading for Our Lives was to appeal to a man's humanity.
Right.
Which we didn't know him at all. But at that point, he still was holding on. He could have pulled the trigger 2 more times and taken Axel and Oscar out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And got the same results. That's what I always offered. I'm like, what was it all for?
Yeah.
You know, but he didn't, and I think part of it was that he had a sense of, wow, you know, I'm a lawman. I'm a man that's taken an oath to protect and to serve, and that's been wiped clean. You know, I think he is protecting and serving his interests.
Yeah.
And so that is what it becomes paramount, and for almost anybody. And then this becomes just nature. Any animal would do this. And again, I think some of us sort of feel like that when we get up in the morning. We got to protect ours. We got to protect ourselves, and that the survival.
Right.
It's probably always been that way, but that's why this show connects. We talked about it a lot. So
Right.
I find it. The main things are that I think what's very interesting is we watch Carl, and we watch him get these lessons about not picking someone up on the road, about some crazy man telling him never to be sorry, and these will start to become his memories or his upbringing. And so what does that leave Judith?
Exactly.
And at least any of these adults have had an opportunity to have some lovely childhood memories.
Right.
At least. Even that Beth can sit and sing a song around the campfire is a comfort. And yet the children, which are 2 in our world, or whoever's in Woodbury, I don't know, will have no memories. And imagine humanity without the memories that we have, or the memories of my mom was eaten by a zombie, by a walker. That's my memory.
Or that you had to put down your own mom.
Yeah, those are things, I find those things to be harrowing for our future.
Yes.
And so I appreciate when the show lightens it up a little bit, to have a moment that we have hope. We need hope always, right? Hope is the resounding spirit of the human, the human cause, the human encounter.
Yeah.
So.
I had a question. Do you think, because you even said this, how AMC released that snippet and it kind of looked like you on the ground and it got people talking. Do you think they showed too much? Because before tonight's episode, they had that recap of what has been happening on The Walking Dead, and this is the first time they took it all the way back to season 1, and they showed. So immediately I was like, oh, Morgan's back this episode. And a lot of people online were like, oh, I can't believe Morgan's back. Oh, I'm so excited. And I was thinking, I knew from the moment they showed that little introduction, I was kind of bummed. I knew Morgan was coming back this episode. I thought that they could have left that out because they haven't shown anything from season 1 in the intro the entire time.
It was very much a different intro, and I felt like, I do think that AMC is trying to help introduce the idea, hey, don't remember?
Yeah.
Now my wife, the walkie-talkie, and you remember that thing?
Yeah.
We're going to give you a little foreplay in the onset. Not sure that it is needed, because I think the people that watch the show, clearly the numbers would bear out that they're on board, and they are probably fairly devout and have an understanding. Also, I felt personally that the episode, if you'd never seen or heard about Morgan previous, I thought it was fairly self-contained, that it could stand on its own without backstory. So I didn't sense that they needed necessarily to grease the sled, if you will, to offer those things. I thought it was novel, that it was interesting. They may be trying to sort of attach some of their other screenings, their Thursday night black and white with, let's keep cross-pollinating with what we're doing and keep it, keep the balls in the air. Let's keep the volley going. But I certainly didn't think that they needed to lead us to the water of Morgan, because we were going to get there. And we didn't need to be, we always want to be surprised. We want, oh, good. Yeah, hey, we know him. But we did know the guy in the helmet, right? We did know that was going to be. So yeah, I feel like AMC sometimes, like the one hand doesn't wash the other. Or no, I feel like they're like occasionally trying to be very helpful. Let's give the fans a little bit because they're so, active and they're so good at tuning in. Let's give them a little tickler, and they give too much. They don't know how to give. They give a lot. You know, I mean, what they do is this: they underestimate the interest, the enthusiasm, and the resource that the audience has. The audience they're 4 steps ahead of AMC. So, so I think they should learn. They should start going to school on themselves. So, you know what? We've given away pretty much everything. We've not hit one thing, and so I also think that they feel okay with whatever spoilers get tossed out there because they don't sense that it's such a big chunk of their audience pie.
Right.
So let's say the internet offers and 1 million people say, we saw it coming. That's still a very, percentage-wise, it's not huge on 12 million that watch the show.
Yeah.
So maybe they're okay with that. Maybe it's an homage to the people that are that devout. Hey, we're going to give you a little something because you're looking for it.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe it's a little bit of their game too. So I think you have to let them play too. That's my take. You know, I was upset with it because I felt like it cheats. It cheats a little bit.
Yeah.
If I was Morgan, I'd say, don't slip me in there and introduce me. Let me introduce myself.
Yeah.
Because that's the payoff. Oh, cool! Look, you know, you want the gut punch. Oh, Axel, oh no, fuck! You don't want to be able to go. Oh yeah, I saw that coming.
Yeah.
That was him. And so ideally for your character, you want to have that integrity. So I think they might get a little over their skis.
Yeah.
And do things like they don't have no one's going to notice this.
Yeah, right.
Let's do it. No one will notice.
Like sometimes I like the preview of like next week's episode because it makes me get excited for it. But at the same time, I didn't want to hear that. I didn't want to know that next week's episode for sure Rick and the governor are going to meet, and next week's episode Andrea has something to do with their meeting. I didn't want to quite know that. I kind of just wanted to be surprised and see where it went. And so sometimes I like the end of the night preview, and sometimes I don't.
I feel like what the effort is to maintain a very seamless transition from the close of a week to Monday morning's water cooler, which is essentially this, the blogs, the Twitter, the Facebooks, the conversation, so much bigger than the water cooler at the office ever was. But as a metaphor, we'll call it that will play. That episode was great. Yeah, and next week's is going to be because they, and then, and then we'll do that for 2 days, and then, oh, by the way, they're black and white. Let's do that. Yeah, okay, we'll do that.
Let's throw those sneak peeks in there so they'll watch it.
Yeah, and then let's play the game a little bit on Friday night, and we'll just, and so I feel like that it's just a movement. It's a continual movement, which I got to give everyone that's involved a lot of credit. And the proof's in the pudding. We're doing this right now, and a lot of other people are too. You know, and it's not just here. It's between Los Angeles and Muncie. Guess what? There's a lot of other people that watch. Like in Brazil and Germany and
Australia,
and the UK, I think too. I hear a lot from the UK. Do y'all or?
Well, actually, Daniel. And we have Daniel and Steven, who are partners with us on The Walking Dead News. Daniel's from the UK, and Steven's from Australia. So,
are they based there, or they live here now?
I think
They live in UK and Australia.
Oh, okay.
So.
I got you.
So our site is run all around the world.
Yeah. You got...
I get it. I would guess it would be wildly popular in the UK. I just don't hear about it as much.
Right.
But as you said, this site is really UK based, so I probably hear about it all the time.
Yeah.
Well, Morgan is back out there. Morgan is back with us,
and
so
and
I think that's fun to have new players in place and get to know them. And he's certainly not new.
Right.
He's an original family member.
Yeah.
So I'm new. He's an old schooler.
Yeah.
And he was great. Obviously, he was fantastic because he was a different guy tonight, right?
Right.
You know, he had a whole different, and he was solo.
Yeah.
I think he had been waiting for so long to have that conversation with either Rick or with someone because, I teared up.
That monologue.
Lenny, that monologue when he was like, all I saw was red. It was all red. He had been waiting so long to just let that all out to somebody, whether it be Rick or just another human being. He had been holding those memories in.
That was beautiful. His work was just absolutely delightful, and we would expect nothing less, but we would be so honored to get what we got. You know, it was such an honor to watch him and to do it. And because the other thing is there's so much heat, there's such a weight to carry because we'd all been waiting for him.
Oh yeah.
There's that thing, like
when's he coming?
And yet he delivers, and the production delivered, and the writing, and the direction, and everything delivered on it. Is Rick hurt? Is he okay? Is that something that's going to heal?
I think it will heal in time. Like, I feel like he still wants to do something for him, but he just knows he can't because he's not going to leave. His mental state is so far gone that Rick can't handle it and can't do anything about it. Because Rick isn't in the stable mind either. So I'm hoping, season 4 shows some more light on what Morgan's going to do, and is he going to get out of that state of mind where he's at? And
the crew or whoever, I don't know what exact job, maybe props master, I'm not sure who sets us all up, but not only his reaction and his mental state was shown through his performance, but just like how you said, the details on the chalkboard, the booby traps, the all the weapons he had. You could just tell there was so much detail put into that episode. I want to say that's phenomenal. All the they were showing behind the scenes. They had like secret color-coded ladders, which escape route goes this way. They just put that so much into detail. He's not obviously going to leave that right away. He has put so much time and effort into putting that place and making it perfect and to taking out or clearing the zombies. He's not leaving that anytime soon.
Did we see that in Morgan from the onset? Did we know he was that resourceful? Did we know he was that op type guy?
He obviously was resourceful enough to take care of himself and his son, and he was kind of like doing his job as a father. But I don't know if we saw that it was going to end up something that huge to take on that role.
Right.
I think he always was resourceful, but maybe not to that extent.
Would would Morgan and Tyrese get on?
That's a good question.
I feel like, man, Tyrese only had to walk a little while longer to find that little town. So who knows? Like, I feel like the same thing would have happened with Morgan. I think if Tyrese would have met Morgan, Morgan would have blew up on Tyrese and he would have just left. I feel like it'd be almost the same exact situation. Who knows? Maybe Tyrese and them did find that town before they found the prison.
Yeah.
So, because Morgan's in the same state mindset as Rick is.
Who's more important to the show and the future of the show?
Rick.
Or do you mean Morgan and Tyrese and Rick out of those three? Or?
Yeah.
I feel like Rick's more important.
Well, yeah, but I think
Tyrese or Morgan, I feel like...
I say Morgan.
Yeah.
Tyrese could
almost
potential.
Be...
It has potential. It just depends on how much they're going to do with that group.
Mm-hmm.
So far, they haven't done much. They've shown him in like 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Morgan's been in 3, so who knows? It's all fair game. But I feel like Morgan has more people's hearts than Alan and Tyrese has.
I think a lot of people like Tyrese, and I can't remember, unfortunately, the female girl in that group, her character's name, but I feel like people like them, but they don't like Alan and Ben. I think maybe if you separated Tyrese and the girl from Alan and Ben, I think people would like them a little better, but I definitely...
It's 2 camps, right? Sasha is her name.
Sasha, thank you.
And Sasha and Tyrese, and then Alan and Ben, and
they're ruffling some feathers.
They have different ideas, so
yes.
we'll see how that comes to pass. And what can I give away? I don't think I can give away anything. I'm trying to remember where we've left Tyrese and Alan and
the last scene I remember seeing was
we've left them in Woodbury. And they're rejuvenating a little bit, right?
Whatever they got to do to get their keep is what Alan said or whatever.
Yeah, and there's some crazy guy, Rick. Ooh, you've seen him, yeah.
Oh, that's who it was he was talking to, not Milton. He was talking to Alan. He wanted to know what Rick looked like from Alan's perspective.
Yeah.
Got it.
So, well, Alan must be, I lobbied hard to take Alan out on the road to the prison.
Yeah.
You didn't, let the governor exact revenge on that guy, because he's going to be a problem. But that didn't work. So we've seen, is there anyone else that we're going to see return? Well, we've seen Shane. We've seen Lori's gone away, but hasn't. We've seen
it'd be that won't happen. But it would be interesting to have Carol have ghosts of her ex. That'd be interesting. Of Ed.
I say an Axel ghost.
Yeah.
I would hope that Carol might have a dream of Axel.
Well, we would love to see that happen.
Candlelight dinner out on the bayou, or something.
Playing with your mustache.
White tablecloth, a little, something, dress overalls. Yeah, I think that's that. I'll put that out there. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, The Walking Dead News wants Axel back.
An Axel appearance, yes.
Maybe that episode was just a dream.
That'd be so. And Axel comes out of the generator room.
Yeah.
All greasy. What the hell's been going on up here? Heard a bunch of shooting. By God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I always was thinking, until it airs, you sort of wait till oh my God, I'm going to get this call and they're going to say we've called the whole thing off. We need you to shoot 4 episodes really quick.
Yeah.
And I always halfway thought I'd run into Glenn and I'd be like, you're not really going to air that episode that I got killed, right? Because you want me to stay, right? And, he's like, nah, we've already edited it. And it's been approved. It's been AMC loves it.
Yeah, they were ready to kill you off. They even showed it.
Of course they do. Herschel's doing fine. Is can Herschel last on crutches?
That's going to be really interesting to see.
If they leave the prison, I don't think he will be able to.
I mean, what do we do? Put him in a wheelchair, a wagon? I mean, what?
I say the wagon. I like that idea. Little red wagon.
If he gets put in a wheelchair, I feel like it'll just happen like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where everybody's wheeling him around in a cornfield or something. Like, nobody's going to want to put up with that.
Yeah, it's going to get old, right?
Yeah.
All right. Leave the old man, take the baby. Let's go.
Yeah. So
maybe he can find some other. Maybe there's
got to be
Milton Havoc here. I mean,
maybe they'll find like one of those disposable legs, not disposable.
Prosthetic legs.
Prosthetic legs.
Got a disposable leg. I can send it to it. Oh, like a prosthetic thing?
Yeah, I'm
like
sure
they
they
find,
could do that.
like on some walker, a guy that,
Yeah.
That'd be nice. That'd be convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, that... They probably were some of the first walkers to go down, obviously, a handicap, Okay. I think Herschel's doing fine. He's the moral compass, and that's really important. And
he replaced Dale after he died, so...
Is there a place for Dale to return?
No.
Okay.
I wasn't a big fan of Dale, let's just say.
Right.
But, I mean... Is there a place? Maybe. I mean, I feel like they'll mention his name a few times. Be like, back in the day, Dale had a lot of great ideas. We need to follow through with some things that he did. But other than that, I don't see Dale coming back anytime soon. Maybe Andrea has a dream with Dale.
I wonder if she's having any guilt for like some of the things she said to him. She was kind of mean and harsh to him, and then when... It was just so sad. I know this is all the way back in season 2, but it was just so sad when Dale died that they all just kind of stared at him while he was dying, and nobody said anything except Daryl was like, "Sorry, buddy," or whatever. I thought Andrew would be like, "I'm sorry, I'm gonna miss you, you'll always be in my heart," but they all just kind of just stared at him like, "Oh well, fuck."
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Yeah.
They weren't as evolved.
Yeah.
To be able to, like, okay, we're going to put you out in your misery, or,
Right.
We love you, buddy, and God bless. We'll see you, over yonder. No, Dale didn't get much. So I don't think anyone's dreaming about Dale either, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. And
right.
Maybe Axel, T-Dog, and Oscar can be like Ghost Riders in the sky or something.
That'd be awesome.
Chasing the walkers herd or something. I don't know. I miss T-Dog and Oscar.
Yeah.
I will see them though. I'll see them. They might be at Whorehound. No.
T-Dog nor Oscar is. Oscar's at Texas Frightmare. T-Dog is at Monster Mania.
So I will see him. That's this coming weekend.
Yes.
I will see him there.
Right.
Okay.
And I think Oscar will be there too. Unless he's on a movie, which he might be.
Right.
And I'll look forward to that. That'll be good. Be nice to hang out with my old buds.
Oh yeah.
We're actually seeing Theo Crane next weekend at a convention. You want to know the funny story? We interviewed him last week, and we asked him about conventions and if he had been signed on. He got added to a convention that is held at my mom's work in Kentucky.
Awesome.
And so I was like, okay, we'll go. I was like, Mom, I'm bringing some buddies. We're staying the night.
How far is that?
From Muncie, it's in Somerset, Kentucky. It is 4, and if you speed like me, I got a speeding ticket last time. It's 4 hours, but...
Oh, that's not bad. So you'll drive, and that's great.
Yeah.
And it's in Kentucky, in Somerset, Kentucky?
Yes.
You should say hi, Mom. You should say hi, Peggy. That's my mom.
Hi, Peggy. I don't even know if Somerset's big enough to hold Theo Crane. You know how big this man is?
Yes.
You can see him in person, and I know for sure there's not enough food. Y'all better bring some hush puppies down from Muncie.
I'll have my mom cook for him.
He's a fine gentleman.
Yeah,
I adore Theo. He is delight. Great sense of humor. Gentle giant. Don't fight him. He will tear you limb from limb. He's an incredible master fighter of all martial arts. He's a masseuse.
Yeah, he's a massage therapist.
Not just for humans. He could massage animals too.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's a delight. This guy.
I mean, his named his dog after one of the Golden Girls. He's a sweetheart.
He's so sweet. He is delightful.
Yeah.
I miss him. I miss him a lot. He was always just had a very gregarious, outgoing personality, and he was a real delight on set. I just adore him. And,
Yeah.
so he was fun. I see Nick Gomez, who's moved out here to Los Angeles. We had some drinks the other night at a bar, and that was a lot of fun. And he's doing well. He's doing Dexter.
I know, and
that's
Sean
so
Patrick Flannery, he tweeted a picture of them working on set. It was pretty cool.
Awesome. That's very cool. You know, Sean and I grew up together.
Did you really?
Texas, yeah. I mean, we didn't grow up as kids, but we were young men in Houston for a while.
Wow.
And that was a lot of fun.
I
Did
bet.
a lot of things. He's a very sweet guy. I knew Sean before I knew Norman.
Really?
I only knew Norman through Sean back in the Boondock Saints days.
Wow.
And, yeah, I've been knowing Sean for a long time. He's a good man. He's a good boy. He's a good actor.
Oh, yes.
He does great stuff.
Definitely.
We met him at Comic-Con last summer, and
good.
he was very nice, very
Yeah,
talkative.
he's delightful, and as is Norman, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Norman's been out here with the team. It's the Paley Awards.
Oh yeah.
And they so the gang's been out here, and I went to see Emily the other night.
Yeah.
She played out. She did her music at Hotel Cafe here in Los Angeles, and it was great.
That's
She's
awesome.
Delightful. Really
That's
good.
wonderful.
Yeah. We just added her on Facebook, and she added us, so that
Yeah,
was
we was
cool.
pretty excited.
Yay! She's
So,
good.
yeah.
She does really good. She's fantastic.
Yeah, and speaking of Nick Gomez, we actually are interviewing him this Thursday morning.
He'll be great.
Yeah.
He's a lot of fun. Yeah, he's super cool dude, and he's young and hip and fun, and
Yeah.
Los Angeles, and he's single, and like every girl's calling him, you know, in between your conversation, he's responding, and all the agents are wanting him, and he's
Right.
delightful. He's friggin' great. I'm so happy for him, and I like hanging out with him.
Yeah.
Gives me a boost, light energy. It's
Yeah.
nice. Good guy.
Well,
So I'll be seeing him.
That's awesome.
because of you, we have kind of developed an icebreaker question for
Yay.
when we interview everybody. Because of you, we ask every single person what their coffee recommendation is or what their drink preference is, and your answer has still been the best.
Yeah.
And what was Theo's? Because I would think he would have.
His was good. He said that he adds whiskey to everything.
Just to spice it up a little bit.
That's what
he
his
said.
mom's taught him. My mom's taught me to put some brown liquor on it. Yeah. And that he's actually onto something. You know,
Yeah.
it cures the common cold.
Right.
See Theo sick or sober. I would guess Chandler doesn't drink much. Carl, he doesn't drink much of Theo's coffee.
No.
We don't like to get him in that kind of trouble. Well, that's cool. Have you talked to Scott Wilson yet?
Not yet.
No.
We would love to.
Yeah. He's going to be at Horror Hound, so we're going to try to talk to him there.
We'll get you. Are y'all going to do a live podcast from Horror Hound?
We'd love to.
We'd love to, but if their lines are going to be so busy and stuff, I don't know if we'll be able to get the chance. Maybe if you could help us out in that situation.
Or, we sit down and get drinks in the evening when everyone's free.
Yeah.
And we could just podcast at the bar.
Yeah,
I'll tell
that'd be
Scott
awesome.
to do it for you guys.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie he was in called Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon?
No.
We are huge fans of that. So
Yeah.
we were fans of him before The Walking Dead in that movie.
Oh my gosh, I haven't seen that. Is it great?
Oh, yeah.
fantastic.
Oh, it's awesome.
Oh, wow.
You
'Cause
definitely need to check it out.
I sort of hearken to In Cold Blood or Heat of the Night
Mhm.
or The Great Gatsby, but
Right.
clearly this is right up there.
We think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good, mockumentary about, serial killers and stuff. And
Interesting.
it's a good movie.
It was in 2006.
Okay. All right.
So if
Is
you
it Rooker worthy? Is it would Michael say it was?
I don't know.
I think
Because
maybe.
he's got the definitive voice of serial killing, right?
Right.
Right. I think he'd like it. I think
think
he'd
so,
like
too.
it. The main actor in it, Nathan Basil, he's phenomenal. You fall in love with him, and then I don't want to give too much away, but
you just gotta watch it.
You gotta
That's all
watch
I'm gonna
it.
say.
What's it? I'm gonna write it down.
Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon.
This is the cover art for it.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's not Scott on the cover, is it?
No, I don't even think he's on the back. Oh, Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger. He's in this movie.
Okay.
It's good.
All right, I will check it out. I will look for it. I will look for it.
But yeah, we'd love to talk to some more people. We've talked to you,
Vincent Ward,
Vincent,
Right,
Theo, Daniel Thomas May, and Nick Gomez is.
Daniel's a good dude too. I like him.
Oh yeah, he was very nice and awesome.
Yeah, he's a sweet guy. Yeah, he does well.
So
and Nick
next week.
Yep.
And so who are you missing? I mean,
we're trying to get Michael Roker, but I feel like we're going to start having problems because of like this rumor about AMC with conventions and how they're not allowed to sign Walking Dead stuff. And
have you heard this rumor about AMC?
No.
You haven't?
Okay. Apparently, we don't know if this is true. So, apparently on the Facebook and convention circuit, it's going around that AMC wants to kind of cash in on the money that's being